Let's go ahead and begin. This is our fourth meeting of the Earthing series, and uh, I've really enjoyed this, and I really appreciate all of the work that those folks that are smarter than I am put into putting this together. Kathleen from Germany, Martin from Australia, Olga and Ovidio from Brazil, and Chris, who is not here yet and may come in from Vancouver Island, and David Loy from right here in Colorado, where I am too. I could probably drive to David's house in 20 minutes, so we're that close.
Please do sometime.
Let's do that. Yeah, maybe we can meet. We can meet halfway. Yeah, there's good Mexican food in Gun Barrel. Yeah. So today's session will be a little bit different. We're going to do a council format and try to integrate some of what we've talked about up to date. And I'm going to turn it over here in just a minute to my friend Kathleen Battke from Germany, from Bonn. And once again, I so appreciate you all being here. As we say each time, and forgive me, this is part of the hat I have to wear, but I welcome it as well. We put a lot of energy and a lot of time into putting these on, and we're committed. I am committed, as long as I'm executive director, to having all of these programs be free and available to everybody. If you can help us out with a donation, most appreciated. Don't feel obligated, but every bit helps us to do this work. I'll also mention that the first 3 sessions, we record all of them, and they are available on the website. So if you want to go back and look at them, you can do so. And we will record just the first part of today's session. So with that, I'm going to mute myself. Kathleen, thank you for putting up with me for a minute or two. And I will hand you the talking stick.
Thank you, Jeff, for opening the door technically and verbally for all of us. So welcome from me too. And Jeff already did what I was meant to do in the beginning, to honor this series of 5 events that we created. And this is the 4th in the 5-part series. And before I go ahead, I would like to apologize to those who might have been here last week at this time or an hour later, and so we had to postpone that meeting. And I apologize to those who came in vain and I'm happy if you can come back today and are here again. So earthing, yes, we called it earthing, and it's not a made-up word. It's more like that we sense that the earth is not an object or a state. It's a living being, and it's a process, and we are part of it, and we can activate it by making it a verb. We are earthing all the time, and we decide whether we are earthing pollutive or regenerative. So it's an activity to create and hold this beautiful planet. And so we named the series this way. And Jeff, you also called up the circle of preparators already. So thanks to all my colleagues and friends who prepared this with me. And I'm happy to hold the talking stick for this event, for this 90 minutes that we share here. And so, after David started a couple of weeks ago and unfolding the Eco-Dharma, Ecosattva perspective, and after Chris in the second event, encouraged us to perform acts of truth on our doorsteps, to heal the earth and take care of it. And after Olga and Ovidio last time, in the last meeting, opened the realm of planetary health for us, and called out for doing a healthy bit more to save our planet. Today, I would like to offer you the space beyond hope, to have a look into that space. And I'm sure many of you already had and might know that space well. I want to call up some ideas around that, around hope and the space beyond. And I will also offer you counsel as, we called it a wake-up space in the title of this evening, of this event. It can be a wake-up space, but in the first place, it's a spiritual practice of sharing meditation that we peacemakers practice a lot with. So I would like to ask, and I wonder whether you can see that, Jeff, if are there people here who are new to council? Is there any hand raising or any hands? Can you see that, Jeff?
Yes, I see Mona has her hand up, and if there's anybody that has their camera off, I won't be able to see those. It looks like 50.
Electronics hands are also welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are, that's okay. That's good to know concerning the introduction. So I'll start with a couple of words and maybe ideas or, let's say thoughts or contemplations on that space beyond hope. And I will call up some friends and witnesses who I study with and who I am resonating with what they offer to abide in that space that we call beyond hope. We'll have time for a council, and I will introduce council shortly again so that we can go into it, dive into that space of council. And at the end of our session, I will hand the stick to Martin for a short reminder of what we'll do next week to finish and finalize our series here. So, confident beyond hope, that's part of the title of today. And we know that positive expectations, that these words like confidence and hope, according to scientific studies, lead to real and measurable changes in the body, that these positive expectations are said to be healthy and keep up health, and that if we lose these positive expectations concerning our life energy might decrease. Sorry for my English also. Sometimes words slip away and I have to remember. So life energy might decrease if we lose hope or positive view, positive thinking. So that's why in mainstream science also positive thinking or positive psychology has been pretty a hype in a couple of last years. And we wonder what confidence and hope have to do with each other. So why did I put both words into the title? Both seem to rest on not knowing or admitting to not know what is to come, what is in our future. And if we think about the difference between hope and confidence, there are many opinions on that and many studies on that. And the thesis might be, if you would like to co-think that with me, is that the subtext or the underlying emotional quality of hope is tending into the direction of despair or fear. And that's also a Buddhist saying, where there's hope, there's fear. You might know. And the subtext or underlying emotional quality of confidence is trust, or could be trust, can be trust. And that's more a quality in which I also can sense the ability to act, to do something. And for some, it is the quality in hope that I have to wait. If something changes, I can't do a lot or do much. Despite, and we all might know about active hope and radical hope, and there are a lot of wonderful books about that. So I don't want to struggle too much with these words or with these terms. It's just that this emotional quality of trust that underlies confidence a bit more, is that what we would like to explore here and go with. So, and I guess, wonder that especially the long-term activists and practitioners among us might know that, or have experienced the loss of hope, or even the attempt to let go of hope, as Buddhists or as people who simply experience the world and see what happens. And the question is, to let go hope is combined with fear. It's a difficult thing to let go of what gives us hope and might draw us into the future. So bide a moment with that. So it's not easy. It's not easily said that, okay, I give up. The hope that, and this is an important piece to it, the hope that we can fix it, that we can fix what seems to be lost, that we can fix the climate change, that we can fix changes in weather, that we can fix the global warming, or the extinction of so many species, that somehow we can fix it by technique, by turning around, by returning somehow to what we had. And that's the point that I mean with letting go that hope. What happens then? And I know that there's that word doomster for people who kind of gave up the hope that we can keep up our life standard and keep up our welfare and what we had. And the question is, what happens if we dare to pass by this hope, to fix it and come back to all that we had and keep it and return and repair it. So there are a couple of friends who think about that, and as I'm the European person in this preparation group and in the series, I call up two witnesses and friends and companions from Europe. Jem Bendel in the first place, whom you might know. He's an English sustainable leadership economist, or has been one. He has been a professor and in England, in the United Kingdom, and has been doing a lot of work around sustainability in businesses and in economy, until he, for himself, realized the state of the climate and the crisis, the ecological crisis, in their multitude and all the tipping points. And so he let go, and he went out of this of his professorship, and today he lives in Philippines and does permaculture, gardening, and schooling or training for farmers there in permaculture, and is a musician. And he also turned to Buddhism because he needed an orientation on how to deal with this loss of hope, with this giving away hope. And his book is called Breaking Together. Maybe here I can share my screen and show you that picture. So this is the title of his book, and maybe it's good to have a moment of looking at this picture, the heaviness of a breaking Earth, a globe, a planet being carried on shoulders, and with a kintsugi attitude. So all the breaking parts can be golded if we turn to it. And he offers to break together and not apart. And he carries and offers a pathway to find a way of kind of holding collapse of climate and also of societies and modernity as a whole possible, but taking care of not putting it against each other, but breaking kind of together and holding each other in this very slow kind of breakdown that we experience these days, sometimes very fast with actual catastrophes, but as a whole, as a meta crisis, very kind of slow motion breakdown. And holding each other there in that could be something that we might become conscious on the threshold of this space beyond hope. So what does it offer to us is the question. If we stand on the threshold to that space beyond hope, what is waiting for us there? And this could be one way to decide that if it is so that we are close to or already on the way in a kind of collapse, multi-collapse of systems, that we can hold each other's hands and take care of each other, and instead of breaking apart, falling apart from each other. So keeping up interconnectedness in breakdown and without hope to fix it. That's something that we can contemplate and are called to contemplate and try. Jem also developed a kind of training for that, the deep adaptation and deep relating training, and he developed 4 questions that he also offers if we are standing on the threshold to that space beyond hope. We might ask us 4 questions, and I can also show them to you. Wait. The four R's of deep adaptation here. So he starts with the green leaf of this 4-leaf flower here. How do we keep what we really want to keep? What do we most value? so the resilience is not. So these questions might help us, and that's the offering, might help us to build community on this threshold. So how do we keep what we really want to keep? Seeing that so many things dissolve and fall apart. The question, what do we need to let go in order to not make things worse, even worse as they are going? What do we need to actively let go? Then the question that we all might have heard from First Nation friends, what can we bring back to help us with the coming difficulties and tragedies? So is there wisdom that has been overlaid by modernity and growth? And can we find that and dig that out again and use that for these times? And the fourth, the blue question of reconciliation, has to do with the readiness to look into the face of our mortality and the possibility of dying, which is an individual difficulty anyway, but that's something that Buddhists, for example, train or practice to see that, to look at that. And as a collective, we also do that. And that can build deep community. And the question here is with what and whom shall we make peace as we face our common mortality? So there are communities rising around these four questions, meeting, sharing, and also practically doing things, creating answers to these questions, and going ahead with that. So this is one attitude, and I just had a 3-week course with Jem, and I really appreciate this person who was a high performer, so to say, a high performer at the university, working with the UN and everything, and had this personal insight and breakdown combined with a real breakdown. And
Kathleen, your sound might be going in and out. I'm not sure. Is anyone else having trouble with? Oh, it's just me. Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay, but I can still go closer to the microphone if that's helpful. Okay. So accepting that not only climate, species, soil, and water are damaged, but that a whole era of evolution, a worldview called modernity is fading, dissolving, that the belief in linear growth that was the core of this worldview is broken. So on this threshold, what kind of culture are we developing? And apart from Jem's very personal solution of leaving his world up to then and living completely differently now, and seeing to create smaller communities, local communities, and being with the arts, making music, and finding his freedom there, and meditating as well. So what kind of cultures are we developing on that threshold that give us a hint that we are there, apart from the catastrophes that give us a hint every day, everywhere, that this time we're in is a very special time. But another friend, a German sociologist, wrote a book about loss, and what he watched or what he researched and found is that there are special subcultures raising, and rituals are being developed collectively that show us that we are on that threshold, and that many of us stand there and ask themselves, how can we deal with what we experience there? So rites of passage, in a way, that he describes in his book, and there are 5 that I just want to share with you to have that view how a whole culture, the Western culture in this case, deals with this growing loss and with this rising consciousness of multiple loss experience. So what he sees is that, for example, cultural heritage is already something that is getting more important in Western societies, and that has to do with saving the precious from destruction, and that might remind us on one of the questions that I just recited from Jem. What do we want to save? What is precious to us? What do we want to keep? And Andreas Reckwitz sees that the whole movement of cultural heritage has to do with that. What do we want to save? How can we do that? Restorative justice is a practice that he sees, that acknowledging the victims of modernity, of loss, of special developments of our culture and economic systems. So acknowledging the victims in cultures like restorative justice is something that he sees as one of these rites of passage that we perform in times of loss. Resilience movement, that this term of resilience has risen so much and is being quoted so much as an armor against negativity. So how can we kind of keep us up and keep strength in the midst of what we experience? Relinquishment is also something that he sees, that loss as gain, less is more, is also being cultivated and talked about more. The discourse is growing. How can we kind of re-evaluate losses as something that is also helpful, to let go and have less? And then he also sees that there's a new kind of mourning culture in Western societies, that saying goodbye and integrating loss in rituals and special ways of dealing with loss is also a growing movement, so to say. So these are kind of observations also on the cultural level that might inspire us on this threshold that we stand on, and might encourage us to make the step into that space beyond the hope of fixing what has started to dissolve already. Yeah, maybe just this as a couple of ideas or contemplations on that threshold and that space, and to step towards council. And what I think is really that council is a space to abide in without ourselves getting into that trap of, oh, there's loss, oh, we lose hope, we have to do something fast. How can we fix that? If we don't fix modernity or economy or the climate, can we fix our own state and our own feelings? And council offers a space where we can, in the first place, explore and research this state of mind and of heart that we are in when we allow ourselves to let go of that kind of hope. And so it's a kind of slow motion and maybe prolonged Tonglen practice. So we breathe in difficult things, difficult feelings and thoughts in council, and by listening to each other with our hearts, we breathe out confidence, maybe well-being, not knowing, witness, bearing witness. So, as I said, the peacemakers do counsel in all their retreats and in many ways, in many circumstances, especially where there are difficult situations or places that we explore and go to. And yeah, this practice of listening deeply, which it is in the first place, listening deeply, listening deeply, listening even deeper, and that means to ourselves and to others in the circle of counsel that we might have, that we see. And when we listen, we can also take the chance to share in this space, share from our heart, share from the space of spaciousness and not knowing. And we can share in words, and we can share in silence as well. That is an easy and good practice. If we are there in the space of our heart to share and listen to ourselves and others, we usually are lean and essentially. So yeah, we don't practice in advance. We just speak from the essence and to the essence, and yeah, there's no need for small talk there. And this is a space that the peacemakers offer ever so often, that we can be straight to the heart. And especially with that space beyond hope, it's needed and helpful, and we help each other. We support each other by being essentially heartful and open when we share with each other and talk to each other. And there is also something that supports us to open up, and that is the agreement to keep confidential what we hear and also what we share, so we don't talk about that outside the circle. And that's also the reason why usually we don't record councils here in the meetings online. And so in this meeting, we will offer you to watch council in the first place, to have a kind of fishbowl council with those who of the preparation group. We will start council in a minute, and you can be, you're kind of a part of a kind of how to say that, a witnessing circle. So we know that you sit in a way around us, around the 4 or 5 of us, and witness our council sharing. And after this first go round, we will stop recording, and then you are also invited to join in and share what you sense and what you feel about this space beyond hope, and about what you heard here up to now. And there will also be a council prompt, so a question that we can use for contemplating it out of the moment, out of the spontaneous sharing. But we can also just share and listen to what is there in this very moment, which is what is coming up. So I would like to ask you, Jeff, now to bring our preparing circle by pinning them as speakers into this small first circle, like Ovidio, David, Olga is already there, Martin. Are David and Martin also there? Hi, Martin, there you are. That's great. Thank you. David, would you like to come into council as well? There you are already. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
And Kathleen, I'll stop recording now.
And not yet. I think we can, if it's okay for the four of you, I would like to record this part, just maybe for others to study how council goes, if it's okay with you, yes. And then when others come in, I would like to stop recording. I think that's a good thing if we all agree, so that we have a model also for others to study maybe. So yeah, listening from the heart, sharing from the heart, lean essentially, confidentially, not discussing, not talking across the fire, so to say. We don't have a fire in the middle, but I'll soon light a candle to start the council. And we'll have a go round, and when we're through this small circle, then yeah, others can raise their hand and join us. That's the possibility here. If you like, you choose a talking piece in your place. What we usually have in council, talking piece, and raise it to show that you're ready to share. But you don't have to, of course. A hand is also a nice talking stick, if you like. So the prompt that I would like to offer after that introduction is abiding in this space beyond hope, or standing on the threshold. What does that stir up in you if you imagine yourself standing there, or walking on that field of no hope, in that place? What comes to life when you allow yourself to bear witness to there's no way to return to normal, there's no way to fix it? What does that open up in you? So I light the council candle, and we usually do invitations, and I invite the spirit of council here, the spirit of the circle, which is as old as humankind and maybe as even older. We don't know what other beings do for sharing. So may the depth of council be with us. Yeah, and after talking so much now myself, I would like to put this prompt into the middle, to the center of our circle, and slow down and breathe deeply and listen to what comes out of the circle. So if you want to speak, you give us a sign and start. And also give us a little sign when you're finished. Thank you. Can repeat maybe the prompt, if that's helpful. Abiding in the space beyond hope. What does that open or stir up? If we imagine ourselves walking on the field or standing on the threshold to the room where there's no hope to fix what has been damaged, or no way to return to what we sensed as normality, as normal for our lifetime up to now.
Ladies first or no?
As you like, you choose. You were both same fast, so who wants to start?
Okay, I can start.
Okay with you, Olga? So Ovidio starts. Righto, go.
My reaction is that this space beyond hope, what I feel, watching so much sadness, confusion, the terrible state of climate, society, that when I try to do something, it's not because I want to fix the climate or fix society. I'm not trying to save society. I'm trying to save myself. Because if I don't do what I'm able to do, I feel terrible. Doesn't mean that I don't feel bad doing what I'm able to do, but still, there is a book by a famous Buddhist psychoanalyst, which is Going to Pieces Without Falling Apart. Epstein, he wrote this book. And I think so, in order to stay together, to stay whole, I think I do what I have to do because I have no other choice. That's what I need to do.
So life is impermanent. It's by itself is changing all the time. I like to have some certainties. But at this point in my life, in which I am getting older, I think every day about what will happen tomorrow, because the only certainty I have is what I'm feeling like now. I really don't know. It's much more important than when I was young, the fact that of my vulnerabilities, of my losses. So I think it's an illusion what we've been going through, that planet Earth was there fixed just to satisfy our needs. And if we reconnect with the nature in ourselves, it's a little bit the same thing, only more generalized. I worry about my grandchildren, for instance. It's making my getting old a little bit less traumatic, because I think, oh my goodness, when the sea will rise, I won't be here anyway. But what about my grandchildren? Anyway, what do I want to say is that impermanence and losses are part of our life. And what does hold us together as people and as communities, that's what we have to keep during these painful times. Because with the losses and our being together also comes some joys. For instance, it is to some extent joyful to be here with you. It's an honor. We are from all over the world together. I'm here with David Loy, whom I so much admire. How can I say that everything is terrible? It's not. I am having the luck to be called into my university to think about planetary health and to see what we can implement. So the loss is bringing me something that is good for me to work for the hope that is possible to have. To have hope without hope, no, to hope without having hope, is that possible? I think it is. Because what is hope? I think that we have to have small hopes. For instance, the small hope now is that we have a nice conversation. I love it. Thank you.
I'm happy to jump in here. So I'm holding a First Nations stick. There's two that are on my altar here nearby. And it's quite beautiful. It's just really noticing that there's all little circles on the stick. And these are sticks that they create sound with, beautiful sound and dance. So I'm holding that energy of ancient culture here on Wurundjeri land, the Kulin Nation here in Australia. Here it's Friday morning, so diverse times, but in the one moment. So what's arising for me is, it's beautiful. Like it's, I've always heard Bernie talk about letting go of expectations. That when we're in expectations, we're imagining we're going to get somewhere. We've got a destination of getting somewhere. And I've heard him also say it differently about hope. That it is that we can hold hope, but in not knowing why, perhaps. And as I've been listening and digesting Kathleen's words, which I really appreciate, I come to see that perhaps hope is forward. It's taking me out of now. It's taking me out of this very moment of being, of being. So there's some relief about letting go of hope. It brings me back to being now, in this moment, without expectations, without hope. And then, Kathleen, as you were lighting that candle, sort of image of a lotus was arising as I saw that in that lotus, and I've heard teachers talk about this, that suffering and beauty can't coexist. The flower doesn't exist without the mud. It's a beautiful image to hold. So for me, holding beauty and holding sadness in the being is where I'm opening up to in this moment. And so one of the things I'm very appreciative of is that this earthing, this verb, continues to return us to the earth, to the beauty of the earth, what it's offering us and what we're acknowledging and appreciating all the wonderful resources and the gifts that the earth offers us in myriad ways. And to become more aware of that is such a gift in that. And then the loss and the deep suffering is, yes, I can relate to what's been said. What's going to be left for generations to come. I come from a lineage of parents who migrated to Australia from Italy, who brought with them on the boat, image of, we have this painting in the house, them on a boat, and it's quite patriarchal, but the father looking in the distance and the mother holding the child. And they brought this love of family and love of community, but they also brought something of a lineage of passing on faith, passing on a religion to the next generation. So as I sit here, I hope and I wish that for future generations that I can pass on something about earthing, pass on something about taking care of country, as they say here in the First Nations, taking care of the earth. But there's grief in all of that in terms of what will arise and what will be left for generations to come, and what is happening now right at this moment for many people who suffer directly from climate emergency and catastrophe. Okay, I'll leave it there. Thank you for listening.
Thank you all. Maybe what I'm feeling is not so different from what you've been expressing, but one way to say it is I'm really not interested in the duality. I think it's a delusive duality of hope and despair or hope and fear. It's kind of a head trip that I just don't want to get into. And it seems to me a really good example of dualistic thinking, where you have two concepts that are really two sides. It's like each depends on the other. So, if you embrace hope, you're kind of repressing or denying despair and the other side. And it's all this future. And I guess that's really not what's motivating me. It's like what's motivating me, and it's interesting, I'm not aware of any discussion of hope, or for that matter, despair in the Buddhist tradition, right? But there's an awful lot about love, different types of love. And I mean, in terms of motivation, for me, it's much more, sensing my non-separation, my non-duality, with other people, with the world, and out of that, this feeling of love. And in terms of what I do, it's the combination, I guess, seems to me, of love and don't know mind. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not sure what's possible, but there's a lot at stake here, and I feel like I want to do what I can, quite apart from knowing if it's going to work out, if there's a good chance of that. So I guess that's what more inspires me. And the other thing, I guess it really seems to me we're at a kind of major turning point in history, where, as some people have said, what we do or don't do in the next decade or so is going to have extraordinary effects down the line. That's what it looks like. And so, what else do I want to do with my life is do what I can to contribute to that, hopefully the great turning. So yeah, I'm kind of wary about the whole word hope. And it's interesting, isn't it? Joanna Macy talks, she has a whole book on hope, but it's not that dualism of hope and despair. It's more about seeing possibilities. I think that, we just don't sit back and hope that they happen, but it's rather a way forward. And that's more what active hope means the awareness that there are these possibilities, and that maybe what we do is going to contribute to them coming forth. So, and that's enough without knowing whether actually it's going to happen. So yeah, love, non-attachment to results, and don't know mind. I mean, for me, they kind of serve that function in place of the whole hope, despair, hope, fear thing. Yeah, I hope that makes some sense. Yeah. That's all from me.
Yeah, hoping it makes sense. Yeah. Wow, I feel that I'm in a circle of enlightened beings, and I'm confronted with my feeling not very enlightened on this. So I think why I actually care for this issue is because of a very personal experience, that what a difference it made for me myself to kind of to reach that threshold. And it may be that maybe as I listen to you, what comes up is that maybe hope is really just a label for holding on to things that are passing, not wanting to realize that things and everything is impermanent. Maybe I can't say it for many, but I can say it for me, that maybe that's the point that I reached, in a way, that even though practicing for years and engaging for years, I found myself being, by let's say, by fighting or being engaged in social movements for many years, I arrived at that point of close to burnout because of that of finding that I cannot do enough. I actually need to do more and more and more and more and more, and then we might make it. And maybe then we can save everything, or the world, or the planet, or the climate, or each other, or so. And yeah, and what also resonates is indeed that when I reached that point, and it's more or less a point that the organism reaches, not the mind. The mind is going on, wanting to change, wanting to do, wanting to save. But the organism, the nervous system, and the body is saying, I can't go on. I'm breaking down. I stop functioning. And then, looking at that and exploring what happens and what has happened, and feeling the helplessness and the loneliness also, when suddenly you maybe have to step out of a very energetic movement to save a forest, or to prepare a demonstration or something. I think that was a tender and very hurting and difficult place to be. And I can also say that it opened up, as I heard from you, it opened up relief and and love, and the experience of the small beauty, or the small moments of peace and health. And I wonder if that was needed, and that this kind of yeah, I might have just been caught in a way, in a kind of spiritual bypassing, by thinking that what I do and what I did is the solution. And I was in good company with that. And it stopped me. it stopped me. I didn't stop myself concerning my mind, but I was stopped. And the pathway from then on is different, and it is slower, and it has more warmth, and it has more love, and it has less me, it has less I. And so decentering is something that I really am practicing, or trying to get at, to decenter myself from this life. And so what came out of that is for example, the haiku that I also shared with you in the invitation. So the space beyond hope, abiding fully present, despair turning green. Yeah, this is what comes up for me these days. Haiku, silence, and yeah, not knowing and counsel. Yeah, and I wonder if I can, if I can die with love in my cells and my bone and marrow, and give that back to the earth then. And that is a wish, and that I have influence on that, and I can't change others. Well, okay, that was now, it became pretty personal. Thank you for listening and for stirring this up in me. Thank you.